If you've ever dug into your garden and found wriggling happy earthworms, you're in luck. Earthworms are one of nature's best indicators of healthy soil, and they're more than just a good sign. They're key players in creating the kind of fertile, rich ground every gardener dreams of. But here's something most people don't know. Earthworms don't just show up randomly. They're drawn to specific conditions and, interestingly enough, certain plant combinations. That's right. Your plant choices could be either inviting worms into your garden or pushing them away. So today, let's explore the plant pairings that make earthworms feel right at home, and how you can encourage these soil builders to stay, multiply, and supercharge your garden's health. First, let's understand why earthworms are so important. These tiny creatures break down organic matter, aerate the soil, and help nutrients reach plant roots more effectively. Their castings, yes, worm poop, are rich in nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, all vital nutrients for plant growth. When you attract worms to your garden, you're essentially adding a team of natural composters and tillers that work 24/7 for free. The best part? They'll keep your soil fluffy, moist, and biologically alive, perfect for herbs, veggies, and flowers. Now, what plants actually attract them? Worms are particularly fond of soil that's rich in organic material and covered by roots and mulch. So, the first plant combination to consider is legumes with leafy greens. For instance, peas or beans grown alongside lettuces or spinach create a beautiful harmony underground. Legumes fix nitrogen into the soil, a nutrient earthworms adore, while leafy greens provide shade, keeping the soil moist and cool, which worms absolutely love. The constant root systems also keep the soil loose and navigable. Another excellent combination is comfrey and calendula. Comfrey has deep taproots that pull nutrients up from deep in the soil, making them more available to other plants and the surrounding soil ecosystem. Its large leaves also make perfect mulch when cut back, feeding the worms right on the spot. Pair that with calendula, whose shallow roots and frequent blooms offer surface cover and biodiversity, and you've got a worm-friendly patch that's hard to beat. These two not only benefit the worms, but also work wonders for your compost pile if you decide to use trimmings. Third, try mixing root crops with herbs. Carrots or beets grown next to chamomile, dill, or borage bring great results. The fine roots of herbs keep the topsoil aerated, and their natural oils can deter pests, giving the earthworms more peaceful ground to thrive. Meanwhile, the root crops help break up compacted soil and give worms tunnels to navigate. Worms especially appreciate diverse root systems, and this combo delivers exactly that. Cover crops are another big one. If you're between growing seasons, consider planting clover or vetch next to radishes or turnips. Not only do cover crops reduce erosion and retain moisture, but they add organic matter to the soil when turned under. Earthworms respond quickly to this nutrient buffet and will often stay long after the cover crop has decomposed, continuing to enrich the area for your next round of crops. It's a long game strategy, but the rewards are immense. Don't forget about mulching plants either. Strawberries grown beneath corn or nasturtiums around tomatoes create natural mulch and moisture retention zones that draw worms in. When leaves drop and slowly decompose, it creates a surface compost layer that's irresistible to earthworms. If you see your mulch layers disappearing over time, it's a good sign that worms are munching away beneath the surface, and that's exactly what you want. Now, let's talk a little about what not to do. Worms don't like harsh, dry, or acidic soil. If you're growing a garden heavy in citrus or overusing chemical fertilizers, you may actually be driving worms away. Likewise, excessive tilling disrupts their tunnels and can harm them directly. So as you incorporate these worm-loving plant pairings, keep the soil as undisturbed and naturally fed as possible. A no-dig or low-till garden full of organic compost, mulch, and diverse plant life is like paradise for earthworms. And here's a secret tip. Leave the roots of harvested plants in the ground whenever possible. Those decaying roots become food and shelter for worms, drawing them closer and encouraging them to stick around for the next planting. Plus, this reduces soil disturbance and keeps the underground ecosystem intact. Little choices like that add up to a thriving worm-filled garden. So do you have these plant combos in your garden yet? If not, consider experimenting this season. Watch how your soil changes. Notice the increase in worm activity. Feel how the earth becomes softer, richer, and more alive. This small shift in planting strategy could be the breakthrough your garden needs to become self-sustaining and bursting with vitality. Because in the end, the more earthworms you can attract, the more resilient and fruitful your garden will become. And with just a few intentional plant pairings, you can create the perfect underground habitat, one worm at a time.